Hello, everyone. This is your girl, Miss Terry Flower, and you are now tuned in to the Terry Flower Show. Y'all already know what we here for. We are here to review Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 10, Episode 6. So let's go ahead and get into it. Episode picks up where the last one left off, with Miss Nell sitting in the coffee shop, and Tisha done skedaddled up out of there because she had no win in that argument that she was trying to have with Miss Nell. So she went ahead and got on up out of there. But anyway, honey, she ended up coming back, talking about, I know that if I just leave this situation where it is, it's gonna be much bigger. Yeah, right, Tisha. You ain't fooling me, baby. You came back, and production told you, girl, we ain't finished shooting this scene. I'm gonna need you to get on back to that coffee shop. All right. She pulled up, came on back in there, baby, sat down. If we're going to talk, we got to talk to each other like adults. You cannot be yelling at me. Miss Nell, like, I'm not yelling at you. Miss Nell is at the same tone that she has been at this entire conversation. She has not yelled at Tisha not one time. Next thing I know, I look up at the screen, Tisha crying, because everybody just keep coming for my marriage. Everybody keeps coming with the same BS. Then she get in the doggone confessional talking about some, Miss Nell has dealt with infidelity in her marriage, so she should know how I feel. How you feel about what, Tisha? Infidelity in your marriage or the thought of infidelity? Girl, get your ass out my face with this. Anyway, child, we're going to go ahead and move on because Tisha irritated me with this because she tried to act like she was making up with Miss Nell, like they was just gonna move forward. That's what she did in Miss Nell's face. But when Miss Nell was like, that she's a certified life coach or whatever, Tisha got in the confession, who gave her that certificate? If she has that, I got a PhD. I said, see, Tisha, this is why don't nobody fool with you, right here, baby. But we gonna go ahead and move on. Another thing, Tisha, what you mean everybody coming for your marriage? Girl, your mama been coming for your marriage at the gate, baby. So if you want to be mad at anybody about coming at your man and coming at your marriage, you need to be mad at your mama, honey. Okay, let's start there. But all right, we're going to move on for real this time. In the next scene, we meet up with Maurice and Kimmy. They're at their place of business. Maurice comes down the stairs, tells Kimmy that he going to break with her or whatever like that. And she's like, well, what's going on with you? He was like, well, the main thing that's on my mind is that I'm going to be meeting up with Martell. I don't like this downward spiral he's been on. I don't know who this guy is. And Kimmy is like, what? You don't recognize this guy? Like, what? Child, so Kimmy just goes into telling him like, hey, I don't understand what you even for the talk. Basically, this is what she was saying. I don't know why you're going to talk to Martell when you're going to get the same results. You've had these come to Jesus moments with Martell multiple times, but it always ends in the same way. He's trying to tell her, well, there was a time Martell was the good guy. Y'all just tell us to be more like Martell and whatever. Like, child, Maurice is full of it, and Kimmy is trying to understand, why do you even want to be friends or communicate with this man when he has also thrown you under the bus and done said things about you and what you done had going on. Kimmy, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this, baby. See, that's how you know Martell wasn't lying on these Negroes. Because one thing about it, you lie on me like that, honey, I wouldn't have no words for you. But obviously it must not be no lie, because he want to go back over here and talk to Martell. And Kimmy just feels like it is a waste of time for him to be going and trying to talk to Martell. She even hit that Negro with a gut punch. She was like, you could be spending this time with Monster. I said, oh, no, she didn't. I'm looking at Maurice like, okay, so you weren't a father figure to Jalen, which is Kimmy's son. And you also you ain't been a father figure to your son too, to Monster. You ain't spending no time with Monster either. Kimmy, I must side eye you again, girl. What? Just trying to figure out how good Kimmy had to mind F herself to still be in the situation, because I remember there was a time that Kimmy was my fave. She was the only sensible one. She was the one that thought with common sense, with logic. I don't know what the HE double hockey sticks is going on, but I don't like it. Okay. But we're going to go ahead and move on. We're going to go ahead and move on. Next scene, we meet up with Marceau and the Delusional. I meant Tisha. I'm a dumb. I said I was doing better. Anyway, we meet up with Marceau and Tisha at their house. They got their daughter in there, Macy, and Tisha is just saying that she feel like Macy need to pick up on her marketing skills. And she like, you be on social media more than I do. You should be posting your stuff. She wants to come out with the little edge gel, since Macy like to do her edges or whatever like that. So Marceau comes down the stairs. They talking and whatever like that. And Marceau is the one that gives her all the money or whatever. And Tisha like, well, you should stop giving her money. That way she can start, working on her own business or whatever like that. And then Marcel was like, well, who's your favorite parent now? She was like, it's still mom. And she was like, Dad used to be real high up on my list, but like lately he's been kind of like falling down the list. And then he telling us, Macy, she's just joking. I'm telling you, it's just a joke. Like, she likes to be sarcastic. I'm like, brother, you ain't got to explain nothing to us. Okay, we're gonna keep moving. So then baby girl going upstairs, and now it's time for her mama and her daddy to start their conversation. Tisha kicks it off by letting him know that she had a conversation with Nell. They met up at the coffee shop. Tisha goes into lying, child. Ain't no other way to put it. She acting like Miss Nell was up there hollering at her, screaming at her, telling her she ain't one of her kids. And I'm like, Tisha, girl, the way that you up here lying like this is ridiculous. You should be ashamed of yourself, Letitia. Tisha also brings up to Miss Nell, let her know that she's a certified life coach, and Marcel was like, certified crazy, they make little jokes or whatever like that. Then he asked her when the last time she talked to Tisha. She was like, well, Tisha and Nell was both on the whole being transparent thing. And Marcel like, what are we not being transparent about? What are we hiding? I don't know. Y'all tell us, because anytime we bring up anything that we've heard, y'all get real, real shaky over there, But whatever, we gonna go on, keep moving. And anyway, Tisha go ahead with telling him about how her Destiny and Kimmy all met up and they were talking about it, and Marcel just basically told her, keep your eye on that damn Destiny. You keep a good eye on that damn Destiny. And I said, you right, Marcel, she better keep a good eye on Destiny, and Destiny better keep a good eye on her ass too. But whatever, we gonna go and keep moving. Tisha gonna sit up here and say, I think the topic of marriage should be off limits. Marriage should be off limits. Kids should be off limits. It's mighty funny that y'all want marriage and kids to be off limits now that it is yours. When y'all was talking about male marriage and your mama was talking about male kids, it was okay. Everybody had a reason to justify it. Everybody had an excuse for why it was okay to talk about it. Like, let's not play this game, girl. No, ma'am. Y'all want it to be the main family of Love and Marriage Huntsville, and baby, you are. And we're going to talk about your family and what is going on with them. Hello? Love and what? Marriage, boo. We finna talk about your marriage. Tisha, boo, as beautiful as you are slick. Goodness, great. Well, allegedly. Next scene, we meet up with Miss Nell and Fletcher. It looks like they're in some type of toy store. And they start their conversation off by Fletcher just letting her know that he went and talked to Lance, and the conversation of Destiny came up. Miss Nell rolled her eyes or whatever. And he was like, have you talked to Destiny? She was like, And she was like I told Lance, if he feel like it's a need for him to have a conversation with her, go ahead, because I don't really care. I mean, she said she ain't never gave him none. He's a man. He got needs, so another woman met it, Like my grandma used to always tell me, what you won't do, another woman will. You know what I mean? So what Miss Nell said made a lot of sense. Like I said in my last review, I mean, what's T-Sis? Like, was y'all together? Was y'all in love? Like, what was going on that you feel that you need a conversation about him having another baby? Like, girl, does it really matter? Do we really care? No, we don't. I don't care. But maybe you guys care. I don't give a damn. Okay, because at the end of the day, y'all went together like that. So I don't understand the issue there. Now, I do want to correct something that Miss Nell said to all the young ladies. If there's any young ladies listening, if a man ever used that threat to you, child, be like, oh, well, you won't do another woman will. You look that nigga right in his eyes and you say, well, let her. Okay, let her do it then. Okay. Go what? Huh? Girl, whatever. We're going to go and move on. And then Nell, goodness gracious. Nell let Chris Fletcher know that she had a sit down conversation with Letitia. She was like, at first Letitia was upset because she told her, I don't like the fact that you was putting your finger all in my husband's face and all of that. And she really didn't like that. She got mad. She left and she came back. And then she started being real transparent with me, letting me know, it's just because my marriage is just being attacked. Chris like, how is her marriage being attacked? And she was like, over the years with the whole thing about the 20 women and all of this, she's feeling real attacked. Her marriage is being attacked, okay? And she was like, at the end of the day, ain't nobody ever caught Marcel doing anything. Ain't nobody ever caught him doing nothing. Chris Fletcher say, so the video with Martell wasn't enough? Chris, ain't none of this enough. Letitia would have to literally catch him in the pussy naive for her to believe. Elle was just letting Chris know, at the end of the day, this is her marriage. You know what I'm saying? She was like, that whole him cheating, that ain't even a topic of conversation, baby. And at the end of the day, this is her marriage. Basically, if we, Tisha want to live in delusional land about her marriage, let that lady live over there. That's her business. And I've been saying that for the longest. I totally agree, Miss Nell. She want to live over there in La La Land. Let that girl live in La La Land. Because, hey, at the end of the day, like Miss Nell said, and like how everybody else has been saying, we have not actually caught Marceau doing anything. He ain't been caught doing nothing. And I have the Blues Clues and all of that been laid out. They have. But we ain't caught him in nothing. And teachers say, hey, if you ain't got no proof, it ain't happened. Okay, so hey, we gonna go and move on, child. And now we finna get to Martell with this sit down with him and Maurice. And I just want to tell y'all right now, baby, this was the best part of the whole damn episode. You hear me? This was the best part of the whole episode, baby. Conversation starts off real smooth. How you been doing? What's been going on with you? Well, I'm taking every most serious. I'm moving into the house. Oh, okay. Well, you gonna be marrying her? Man, Martell looked around in the sky. Well, not right now. That's the plan, but not right now. Not like tomorrow or nothing like that. Maurice was like, well, I don't know. You move fast. You know what I'm saying? But Martell already said in the confessional, he know what this by. You meeting with me about that whole thing, where I basically put y'all business out there. That's really what you meeting me by. So let's go ahead and get to it. All right. Tell is just basically letting Maurice know, my whole reason for coming at Marceau like that is because he kept coming for me. So the gloves is off. I'm finna go and put it out there. I'm finna spray everybody, That's basically what he was letting him know. Now, Maurice decided that this would be a good time for him to explain what really happened when he had that DUI incident. And he let us know, and Martell, he let us know, that he hit a tree. Hold. He hit an animal, he hit a pole, and then he hit a tree. And Martell did exactly what all of us did. Bust out laughing because, nigga, what? You hear what I'm saying? You did what now? He said, but see, that's why my DUI was dismissed, because it went exactly the way that I just told you it went. Maurice, you lost so much, baby. I need to see the paperwork, okay? Because that sounds like some bullshit naive to me, okay? To me, that's what it sounds like. Obviously, to Martell, that's what it sounds like as well. Job, my bad. Let me get it right. He hit an animal, then he hit a tree, then he hit a pole. Maurice, get out of our face with this. I'm sick of it. Kimmy, you be sitting up here just listening to this. Oh my goodness. He gets in the confessional and says that he feels like Martell is gassing him up right now, and he just wants to hurt his feelings by laughing at the story since Martell felt hurt. I'm like, Maurice is just so full of. No, he laughing because he know this story is bullshit. He knows it. He knows this story is BS. That's why he's laughing at you. He even asked Maurice, well, when you hit the animal, did you kill the animal? He was like, no, it ran off. Maurice, get out of our face with this. Maurice tries to take a little jab at Martell and was like, well, do you think your legal situation is funny? And Martell was like, well, when it get dismissed, I mean, yeah, it'll be funny then. And then they just start continuing to talk about the whole situation about how basically Martell done sprayed them. All right. And Martell was like, well, do you think the video that I released, do you think that was a lie? And Maurice was like, yeah, you included me in it. Tell, like, I ain't include you in that, brother. Hey, she came on there and she told her truth. I ain't have nothing to do with it, Also, Maurice, like, everything that the girl said was a lie. And Martell, like, bruh, I was there. And Maurice, like, so you watched us have sex? He was like, well, Marceau had sex with her, you had sex with her, and he was like, you were there, you watched us. He was like, at the initial. And here go Maurice, oh, well, how does my junk look? How does my stuff look? What color was the carpet? Like, Maurice, cut the shit, brother. That boy said, what color was the carpet? Boy, if they ain't a lie, nigga, I don't know what it is. Martell say, do you chew gummies? Are you on a gummy right now? Martell like, and so you saying we ain't even go to Vegas? Like, what? Hold up. Child, Martell can't believe Maurice gonna sit across his table and try to play mental gymnastics with him, because this is hilarious to him. Because Maurice, Martell, and Marsau are the kings of mental gymnastics. They play it with the women all the time. So to be sitting across the table from Maurice and Maurice trying to play mental gymnastics with him, he's finding it hilarious. Okay. Sitting there telling some, how do my private part look? There's something very unique about me. And Martell like, whoa, brother, whoa. Can we change the trajectory of this conversation? She was like, no, let's stay right here where we at. Brother, we not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Then Maurice asked Martell, well, did y'all pay her for an interview? Martell said, no, we ain't pay her for no interview. I reached out to her, I contacted her. And Maurice like, well, how you knew her? He said, I knew her from when your brother flew out to Vegas. I said, oh my goodness. Maurice just Maurice looking guilty as hell on the other end of this table. He can't believe Martell is saying all of this on camera. He is shooketh, okay? He says that he is agreeing that they did go to Vegas, but Martell is putting sauce on everything. And he gets in the confessional and he says that he feels like Martell is the master of insinuation. I'm like, baby, he ain't insinuating a damn thing. He's saying this is what happened. I don't know what you're talking about, Maurice. I know you're trying to go into your little lawyer mode, but it's not working, brother. It's not working. Because when I tell you Martell ain't insinuated a damn thing, he put it out there. He said, you slept with her and your brother slept with her and your brother flew out. That's what he said. That don't sound like insinuation to me. Y'all put down in the comments if I'm tripping, but whatever. We're going to go and move on. Martell is just eating him up at this table. Martell say, what part of it isn't true? Like, which part isn't true? And he was like, so Marsau didn't fly her out? Maurice was like, I don't know what Marsau did. He like, what you mean? We all was together. We was going places together. He looked Maurice right in his face. He said, you a lawyer, ain't you? Maurice was like, yes, I'm a lawyer. He was like, well, sue us. Sue us. Say that. Okay. Child, wait a minute. Y'all wanted Mel off the show so bad. Baby, Mel done got off this show. So Martell can't be aggravated and harassing and attacking her. And baby, he is on y'all ass. You hit me? Oh, Lord, he said ain't gonna be no peace. I wasn't the only one out here cheating, you hear me? And everybody gonna know about it, all right? They go ahead and wrap that scene on up with Maurice still continuing trying to lie about the situation. And Martell just pulled his card. And like, brother, you a lawyer, so, I mean, if I'm lying, sue me then. Sue her. Sue me and her if we lying about what we talking about. And Maurice ain't say that one time, I am going to sue y'all. He ain't say that not one time because it ain't lies that's being told. Your wife, Kimmy, lives in delusional land for you. And we been knew Tisha live in delusional land. And y'all wonder why people keep saying y'all ain't transparent. See what I'm talking about? Whatever. We're going to go and move on. Next scene, we meet up with Kimmy, Maurice, and Marsau. They all sit down at this little eatery place. I like Kimmy's little fluffy little jacket she had on, but whatever, child. Anyway, so they sit down, they start talking about how Maurice just recently met with Martell. He's really concerned about his mental health. Marsau say, F his mental health. You know what I'm saying? He don't give a damn about it. Anyway, Maurice was like, so I asked him about the videos and stuff like that he posted or whatever. And he tells me that he included me in the video because when he was trying to think of the legal term when we were at the reunion, he looked over at me and I put my head down. And I'm like, Maurice, that's not what he said. What he said was, brother, I didn't bring you into it. She brought you into it. She was telling her truth. That had nothing to do with me. But I know you don't want to repeat that in front of Kimmy. All right, we're going to go and keep moving. Into about how he told Martell, well, if that happened and you were in the room, how does my junk look? You know, there's certain qualities about my anatomy that you would recognize. And he was just like, Martell's like, bro, I'm not finna sit up here and describe your weeder. You know what I'm saying? Marsau was just like, you know what I'm saying? Well, first off, Marsau was like, well, did he describe it? Y'all, I don't know why they send up, again, mental gymnastics. They really only playing this game right now because Kimmy is sitting there. Because the truth of the matter is this. They tell me, oh, when you in the room, well, Marsau getting the confessional. Well, when fellas are in the room and they doing this, he's looking at something. The question is, what does he look? Y'all act like we don't live in the real world. Like people don't really be out here going on two-mans, hunching in the same room. Like, all of this stuff is normal. Like, let's stop acting like folks don't be in the same room doing stuff with each other, with other people. It be a whole lot going on. Like, we not finna sit up here and act like we ain't all adults and know how folks be really out here getting down. We ain't gonna do that. That's what we not gonna do. Who just basically lets Maurice know, you keep hollering about all of this. Martell is such a nice guy and all of this, or who he used to be. You want him to get back to who he used to be. He's always been this guy. He just wasn't in the circumstance to really showcase that. He's a 40-plus-year-old man. This is who he is. Let's stop with this whole game that you like to do. And Kimmy jumps in the conversation and was like, yeah, when he's good, he's good. But when he's not, he's not. And I'm like, Kimmy, shut up, girl. Anyway, because they talking all over your head right now. You ain't even peeping it. I ain't got time. Ain't got time for you, Kimmy. I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed in you, Kimmy. Maurice lets it be known that he doing an all guys outing coming up, and he like, well, Marceau, I'm pretty sure you ain't gonna want to come. Marceau was like, yeah, I'm gonna want to come. He was like, well, dang, you ain't gonna talk to Martell. He just like, me and Martell relationship is over. Martell fine with it. I'm fine with it. We both took accountability. We done. Because the difference between you, Maurice, and Marceau is, Maurice, you think you're going to be able to manipulate Martell into shutting up and now outing y'all for all of the mess that y'all had going on back in the day. Marceau is closer to Martell, so he knows ain't no going back. Martell is finna spray y'all. Any evidence, any proof, anybody that he can dig up, find anything that he can bring up on y'all, he's going to do it. Marceau know that. You still in denial, okay? But hey, we gonna see how this work out for y'all. Anyway, this is the end of the episode. Thank you guys for staying tuned this long with me. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope everybody have a good day. Peace. Also, again, put your comments down there. Tell me how you feel. Did I miss anything or whatever like that? Whatever, you guys, man. I hope everybody have a wonderful day. Peace.